Greetings, guys. I hope that you are good today. So, we're going to be looking at the OMX30 index, which is the Stockholm index. Let's get straight into it. So, the first thing that I can already see is that we have a huge information in this region over here. I'll show it to you. Just bear with me. We have this formation with the neckline being over there, and as I usually say, whenever it comes to M and W formations, what ideally we would like to see is price going back to the neckline in this manner, just to retest it and then continuing with the finalization of the information in this manner. Ideally, this is what I would like to see. So let's continue. I'm just going to add a neckline to that M structure so that we do not forget about the fact that we would love to see price coming back to the neckline to retest it. Okay, what else can I see by just looking at this particular chart? Another thing that I can see, which is very important, is that we have a huge area of support in this area. I'm just gonna mark it out as well because it's very important. Apologies for the background noise. The dogs outside seem to be making a noise. Okay, there we go. There we go. So we can see that price, after breaking this resistance area, went up, then came back to test the support area. So this is a very important area as well. What else can we tell by just looking at this particular chart? I can already tell here that at this point, or this particular candlestick, it's a bullish candle with a small body and a long upper wick, which excuse me, which immediately tells me that at this zone over here we have liquidity that needs to be grabbed by the market. So in other words, there's a lot of money that's sitting here and it needs to be activated at one point or another. Let's continue. What else can I see, or what else can we see by just looking at this particular chart? There's not much to speak about. Let's proceed to the weekly chart. There we go. We've got the weekly chart open. What can we tell by just looking at this particular weekly chart? Let's have a look. I can already see that we have this candlestick over here, which is a bullish candlestick with a small body and a long upper wick, which tells me that we have liquidity at this level. We have another candle here with the very same features, with liquidity being at this particular level. What else can we tell by looking at this particular chart, which is the weekly chart? I can tell that there's also a very small M formation in this region, with the neckline being here. Let me just illustrate it for you. Let's see. It goes like this, and then we've got the neckline in that region. It'll be more visible once we head on over to the daily chart, but for now we just need to keep in mind that we have an M formation at this range. And like I said to you guys, that whenever we have M and W formations and the neckline has been broken, ideally we would love to see price coming back to the neckline and then continuing down to complete the structure. So let's proceed. So from here, let's head on over to the daily chart. There we go. We've got the daily chart over here, and as I said to you guys, we have an M formation in this area, with the neckline being in this area. I'm just gonna mark it out as well so that we don't forget about it. I'll do it in this manner. Let's see. Okay, all right. So we got the first leg. Price came back to the neckline, went up, came down again, and then it got here, but we never really got to see a proper test of the neckline, and that's what we may see next. So what else can we see by just looking at this particular chart? Another thing which is very important is that we have what seems to be a gap in this region over here. And whenever we have gaps, we know that there's a lot of liquidity that is trapped in that particular area. So price at some point has to come to this level, which is the 2071.78 level, right? Another thing that is very important that we need to keep in mind is that we have this particular candlestick here, which is a bearish candle with a small body and a very long lower wick. So what this tells us immediately is that we have a lot of liquidity that is trapped in this at this level, rather over here. So I'm just going to mark it out so that we don't forget about this particular area, as price needs to come down to it to grab that liquidity before actually going up, I believe. I'm just gonna make it a red color. There we go. So that's the daily chart. What else do we need to do here? Another very important thing we need to do now is to add our channel, our daily channel. Just bear with me, guys. Just bear with me, guys. I just need to make sure that this particular channel is as accurate as possible. Let's see. All right, and then I'm gonna make it a black color so it stands out more. There we go. Remember, we have an information in this region. With the neckline being here. Also, we have a huge M structure in this region with the neckline being here, and we have this area here which is a support area. So let's continue. So what else can we see by just looking at this chart? I can see that we also have here at this level this candlestick over here, which is a bullish candle with a small body and a long upper wick, which says again that we have liquidity that's trapped over here. So I'm not going to mark it, we just need to keep that at the back of our minds. So let's continue. From here, ideally what I would like to see is price heading back to the neckline to retest it and also close this gap here, and then head down to this level to grab the liquidity. And if it closes below this level, I would love to see it heading down to this area over here, which is the support area that we spoke about earlier. So let's continue. What else can we see by just looking at this chart, which is the daily chart? I can see that at this area here we had a gap, however it's been filled. We have another area here which has a gap. This area also needs to be filled, which means at some point price has to come all the way to the 2436.33 zone, right? So let's continue. From now on, I'm gonna head on over to the H4 chart. Let's see. I'm just gonna fix my daily channel. There we go. There we go. That's good enough for me. Let's see. There we go. So we are now at the H4 channel, or rather the H4 chart. Excuse me. So this is the H4 chart. What can we tell by looking at the H4 chart? we can see that price has somewhat been moving in a range. Price has been moving in a range. Let me just do this quickly, just bear with me, guys. Price has been moving in this range, moving sideways actually, except for this move over here where price went down to stop hunt actually. So what else can we tell by looking at this chart? There's not much to tell really, because most of the important bits and pieces we have already identified. So I'm now gonna add a channel on the H4 chart. Okay, let's see. How would I add a channel? I would add it in this way. I would add it in this way. And then I would also make it a different color so that it stands out from the channel that we have on the daily chart. There we go. I'll make it a blue. Okay, what else can we see by just looking at this particular structure? There's not really much, really. As I had said, although we do have another gap here which has to be filled, as I said, but don't confuse this gap with this one which we identified earlier. And we've got this level over here where we have a small bullish candle, or rather a bullish candle with a small body and a long upper wick, which suggests that we have liquidity at this level. So let's continue. So I'm now going to head on over to the H1 chart. I'm now going to fix my H4 channel. Like this. Okay, let's continue. Alright, so we've got the H1 chart open. What can we tell by looking at this channel? The first thing, or the first things that I can see, is that we have this candlestick over here. It's a bearish candlestick with a small body and a long lower wick, which says that at this level we have liquidity that needs to be grabbed. We also have this one and this one, which says the same thing, that liquidity needs to be grabbed. Actually, you can just ignore this one because the liquidity was grabbed by this particular candle over here. Let's continue. We also have a gap in this region. This candlestick over here attempted to fill that gap, but as you can see, actually it doesn't look like it's been filled completely. If you actually look at it, just bear with me, guys. If you actually look at it, it doesn't look like it's been filled completely because there's a space in between there. Okay, let's continue. From here, what I would do actually is head on over to the M30 chart. When it comes to execution, I usually execute on this particular chart, and what I would do is add a channel as well in this manner. I would add a channel in this manner, and then I would make it a blue color, sorry, a red color. The reason why I make it a red color is so that I don't forget that that's the M30 channel, because as you can tell, we have a lot of channels at this point in time. We have the daily channel, we've got the H4 channel, and now we have the M30 channel. So what else can I tell by just looking at this particular structure on the M30 chart? The first thing that I can see is that we have an information in this manner. We have this. We have the structure over here, with the neckline being here, However, price did not break the neckline. It instead went up. So what I would do is I would wait for price to actually break this structure over here. If it does so, I would wait for it to come back to the neckline and then head down to this area over here, which is a very important area because we have a lot of liquidity trapped in that area, as I have outlined. I hope this makes sense, guys. So as I said, we have I'm just going to add actually a neckline so that we don't forget about the fact that we have an information here, right? So right now I do not see any opportunities to sell or buy. However, given where we are, I would wait for price to actually break this level and close below. I'm just gonna add a line, close below this level over here. If price closes below this level over here, I'm gonna look for a buying opportunity, and then my take profit would be in this region over here, which is the 1948.85 area. So that's it, guys, in as far as OMX30 is concerned, which is the Stockholm index. So yeah, guys, if you do have any other questions, or if you would like me to have a look at any other charts, just let me know in the comment section and I will analyze those charts for you. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.